Okay, thanks. The selection process for the best value proposal is going to be a best value selection, and it's a technical and price component. And we had a lot of internal discussion on what the best way to approach this so that we end up with a strong technical proposal team as well as a very fair and competitive price. So we looked to the federal acquisition regulations and followed those, and we looked at also examples of technical price weighting for design-build contractor selections for other types of projects throughout the United States. And so we settled on this approach. We're going to have, there are 5 proposal teams, and we hope and are confident that there will be 5 proposals submitted. And so the first evaluation process will be to go through and have a technical evaluation, and these are the weightings that we'll put on the various subject areas that we'll be looking at: project approach, safety, conceptual engineering, ability to meet the schedule, anticipated problems and solutions, and quality and self-certification. And you can see the representative weightings that we're going to have. These are broad categories, and within them there are other categories. For instance, you don't see here the small business program, and because that's in part of the project approach. So there are many subcategories within these major categories. When the technical evaluation in a design-build procurement is done, usually there are very broad categories like this. We're going to have this first approach, we're going to rate them, and we're going to take the top 3 out of the 5 to move on to the next part of the competition for selection. If we have only 4 proposals, we again will just go with the top 3. If we had 3 proposals, we'll just select the top 2 to move on to the next price component. Okay. So that's we narrow the field. The top 3, and we move on, or the top 2 technical if there's only 3. Okay. Then we move on to what's called the price consideration. Although it actually folds back in the technical proposals that we received, but now we only weighted at 30%, and the price component is a full 70%. The same 6 categories are in the technical proposal piece. That's 30%. By creating a competition for the technical piece, we think we're going to get strong technical proposals, and we're going to get some very well thought out plans from these proposal teams. And we're making it very competitive because if you're not in the top 3, you'll be dropped off. And then we move to the price, and because it's more heavily weighted in price on this second phase, we think we'll get some very good competition and get a very fair and reasonable price. And as I mentioned before, we looked at other projects throughout the United States, and the Design-Build Institute, we are following principles in that manual. There's a quote there that shows one type of procurement approach that could be taken, although ours will be a little different than that. But we looked into the Design-Build Institute for guidance. And then also we looked at these particular projects as good examples. This is a Caltrans Design-Build program where for their largest design-build project, which is the Gerald Desmond Bridge, they had this scoring plan, which was 70 to 80% price and 20 to 30% technical. And that project was about $700 million. Denver's RTD, Denver Eagle 3P rail project had a price and technical split, as you see, 60 and 40. And then finally, Dallas Area Rapid Transit Orange Line had a 35-point price and a 65-point technical. So you can see there are many variations that you could select, but we chose this method because we thought we would accomplish the goals of the authority best.